This is lesson 3, so this is the lesson for Wednesday. Please pause the video to write down the objectives. Please do your warm-up. Just like yesterday, you need to find a partner for this lesson. There are several slides that require discussion. So choose who your partner is and then do your warm-up. When you're done with the warm-up, compare with your partner and make sure that you all have the correct, appropriate answer. This is our outline for this lesson. So we're going to talk about the energy source for ecosystems, talk about energy conversion within those ecosystems, talk about energy transfer within those ecosystems, and then you will learn how to draw an IB-approved pyramid of energy. This is an assessed drawing. You could be asked to draw it on an IB exam, so please draw it the way I instruct you, so that if you were asked it on an exam, you would get all of the marks. This is our first section, so please make your section heading energy source. The source of energy for most ecosystems on the Earth is the sun. So the energy radiated by the sun forms the base of all of these ecosystems. There are some exceptions, so this is pretty cool. In these deep sea hydrothermal vents, there are organisms that can perform chemosynthesis instead of photosynthesis. And it's a complicated process I don't want to get into, but if you want to search it up, you may. Still, for the vast majority of ecosystems on Earth, the sun is the source of energy. So how does that work? Our next section is energy conversion. I am not sure about your freshman physics experience, but I hope that you know at least some types of energy transformations. One example is a ball at the top of a hill possesses gravitational potential energy, and when it's rolling and it's at the bottom of the hill and it's at maximum speed, all of that gravitational potential energy has been converted to kinetic energy of motion. And at each point in the hill, it had less gravitational potential energy and more kinetic energy. And so the gravitational potential energy was transformed into kinetic energy. I'm hoping you and your partner can come up with at least 2 energy transformations. Please pause the video and do that now. So the energy transformation that we're interested in as ecologists is energy transformation of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis transforms light energy into chemical energy. So how does that work? The energy from light is used to create these carbon compounds, using carbon dioxide and water to produce glucose. And then chemical energy is stored in those bonds between the atoms of the glucose and other organic compounds that are produced. Is this an alpha glucose or a beta glucose? See if your partner knows. Photosynthesis is necessary because it creates the organic compounds that can then be broken down in the process of cell respiration. And breaking those down is used to drive the creation of ATP. ATP is, of course, the cellular energy currency. ATP is what fuels all of the vital reactions that keep you alive. Please remember that all creatures perform cell respiration, including plants. So plants need ATP just like you do. They perform photosynthesis. They also perform cell respiration. So their source of glucose is their own reactions in photosynthesis. Your source of glucose and other organic compounds is the food that you eat. All right, please add this section heading. So it says chemical energy in carbon compounds flows through food chains by means of feeding. So there is energy stored within the organic molecules inside the seal. And that energy in those seal molecules is going to get transferred to the shark. But where did the seal get that energy? That seal got the energy by eating fish and whatever else it ate. Those fish that were eaten by the seal probably ate smaller fish. Those smaller fish may have eaten plankton. That plankton may have been phytoplankton, which is photosynthetic. So the base of any food web is some kind of producer, some kind of photosynthetic organism that performs the energy transformation, turning light energy into chemical energy. And then that chemical energy is available to whatever eats the producer and whatever eats that thing that ate the producer, and so on, all the way up to this great white shark. So that's how energy is transferred from those autotrophic producers all the way up the food chain. This is a discussion question for you and your partner. Please pause the video now. Okay, so energy may be conserved in the universe, but it is not conserved in food chains. So I hope you picked answer choice B. Energy decreases as you move up the food chain. And let's talk about why that is. So in this example, we have a caterpillar that's eating plant material. The only energy that's going to be available to something that comes in and eats this caterpillar is the energy that the caterpillar used to build more caterpillar. So the caterpillar could not use all of the plant material that it ate to build more caterpillar tissue. So some of the food that the caterpillar ate was indigestible, and so it passed out from the caterpillar's body as feces. It never became caterpillar molecules. For your fun fact for today, you may have heard that you should eat fiber to stay regular in your bowel movements. You know enough biology now to understand why. So dietary fiber is not digestible by any enzymes that you have. You're not a termite, so you cannot digest dietary fiber. And so it stays in your small intestine and then your large intestine, and that's a good thing because it draws water by osmosis. So that water keeps your feces soft enough to pass easily, and you don't experience those uncomfortable, hard rabbit pellet feces as long as you're having enough fiber. But the point is, there was chemical energy in that fiber. There was and is chemical energy in that cellulose. It's just chemical energy that wasn't accessible to you to build more U molecules. And in the same way, there are things that the caterpillar eats that the caterpillar can't digest. So it's not used to build more caterpillar, and it leaves the caterpillar's body in the feces. Another way that energy is lost is through cellular respiration. That takes energy. The caterpillar cells are performing cellular respiration all the time and using that cellular respiration to produce ATP. The reactions powered by ATP generate heat. So you know if you've ever been in a really crowded room, the temperature starts to rise from the body heat of all the people in there. So you are generating heat all the time because the reactions in your body generate heat. And that heat isn't energy in a form that you can use. It's energy that just gets radiated to the air around you. So that energy is not used to make more U molecules. So if a T-Rex came to eat you, that energy would not be available to the T-Rex. In the same way, the caterpillar loses energy as heat. And so if a bird comes and eats it, that energy never became more caterpillar tissue. So it's not available to the bird if the bird eats the caterpillar. The mathematical relationship is 10%. So 10% of the total energy in each trophic level is transferred to the next trophic level. So 10% of the energy in the plant trophic level, the producer level, is transferred to the first consumer, the caterpillar, and so on and so on. So knowing that 10% rule allows us to construct energy pyramids. And when you see the word pyramid, please don't draw a triangle like an Egyptian pyramid. The way that IB wants you to draw pyramids is different. So please, this is an assessed drawing, like I said. Pay attention. I'm trying to get you all the marks for a question like this. The shape of your energy pyramid should be this. So it's a series of stacked rectangles. The width of those rectangles matters. So if the base represents 10,000 joules, the next level, the next trophic level by the 10% rule is going to represent 1,000 joules. And those boxes should be close to proportional. So I mean the width of the 1,000 joule box should be about 1/10 of the width of the 10,000 joule box. So make sure that you're not drawing something that looks like a wedding cake because you want to show that it's a 10% energy transfer. That means you need to make the base of your pyramid pretty wide because by the time you get to the top, your trophic level will have shrunk a lot. Please take some time to copy this energy pyramid into your notebook. If you want to be extra, you could use a ruler and make sure that each level is exactly 10% in width. Please also label the trophic levels. So we have producer, first consumer, second consumer, third consumer. Pause the video to copy this in your notes. You don't need to draw the eagle and mouse and everything, but make sure you have the numbers, the drawing, and the words. This we discussed, where the energy goes. And this is a question for discussion with your partner. Why do you think food chains usually only have 4 or 5 trophic levels? How come there aren't like super sharks eating sharks and then super duper sharks eating those super sharks? Please pause the video and discuss. Okay, we've made it to the last slide of the lesson. Please pause the video and discuss these wrap-up questions with your partner. You can write down the answers or you can flesh out your notes if you discover in this process that there's something that you should have more notes about. All right, thanks for watching.